Hey, this is V. This is
Willis.
And we're here with Drunk with Friends.
All right.
And we're here another week. Come on, give ourselves a hand clap. All right, this week we have the most awesome people all the way from where you guys? North Carolina?
Yep, Charlotte.
Charlotte, I was right. Okay. Miss Chrissy and Anthony. Go ahead and give them a clap. How you guys doing on today?
We're doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're excited, man. As we were talking about offline, we was running around crazy for the first 50 minutes. We had technical difficulties. We were just acting all wild. We're like, we can't miss this opportunity to talk to these great people. We're so excited to talk to you guys. So how are you guys doing? Y'all all ready? Ready to get grilled about awesome games?
So pretty much they're creator of several games, Passport to the Hood. What was the other one? Celebsaid.
Yep.
There was another one for women. I can't remember the name.
Come on, you got it.
I literally just
story of my life.
Right. The main one, the one that you sent us was Passport to the Hood Volume 1, which is the one I picked out. And of course, he wants to be a hood guy, or finger, little
trap one.
The trap one. I got the trap edition for him, so we can have some fun with that. So before we get into the actual games, could you give us a little synopsis of how you guys got started?
Yeah, so the company started in 2017. Initially I was just kind of sleeping and woke up and I was like, hey, Anthony, why don't you, start a card game? And I was like, okay.
She's shaking her head. I don't know if that's true.
No, he's just funny. He does wake up with ideas.
And I was like, seriously. And I was like, well, you need a name, right? So then I was like, okay, well, you need to come up with a catchy name. So I came up with a long list of names and I was like, oh, that's whack. Oh, no, they'll never buy that.
Right.
And then, we kind of started doing wordplay. And then when I came up with Passport to the Hood, it just had a ring to it. And I was like, yeah, people want to gravitate towards this. So that's where the name of the game came from, our first game. And then once we came up with the game, then I was like, okay, well now from a branding perspective, we need a catchy name. So then I created Social Laughs as the company name. So that's how everything initially got started.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the initial process was coming up with the questions for Passport to the Hood. Mm-hmm. We initially came up with over 400 questions when we first started this. Wow. And then that's how we were able to have all of these different volumes that we truly released. So we actually came up with them on a road trip. We were going to visit one of our family members. We have family in Wilmington. I'm from the Wilmington area in North Carolina, and he's from Charleston. So we have a lot of our family still there. And so we were doing a 3.5 hour, 4 hour drive, and we were cracking up in the car, coming up with questions for Passport to the Hood. Because it's about our life. It's just normal life experiences. It's something that your cousins are going to tell you about, something that happened to them, something you experience whenever you go and see your family during the holidays. So it was just really fun starting off with our Passport to the Hood game.
Oh, that's that, man. I don't even think I could think of 400 questions.
Right.
You could. You just think about it. The things that are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
When you go home to the cookouts, when you go over to a kickback at somebody's party, house. It's just everyday stuff. Even now, random things that happen throughout the week to me and Anthony, we'll be like, oh, that's a good question.
Content.
Content.
So it seems like it was a bonding moment just for you guys to even create this.
Definitely. Definitely. Like I said, just a good time to reminisce on things and not even certain things that we actually experience hands-on. Let's just say if you're watching a movie, a TV series, how that impact you, being able to take content from that as well, or seeing yourself in that content, or seeing yourself in a movie or something you watch, some experience just taken away from that.
Right.
So what made you guys say hey, let's do this for real, officially? What was that thing? Some people have a incident that's let's stop playing about it. Let's actually do it now. Let's not procrastinate anymore. Let's not BS no more. Let's literally.
I can tell you that
he's not a procrastinator.
But some people are.
So no, I get that. So that doesn't happen over here in the Kent's household. If it's okay, we're gonna do something, we're definitely gonna do it. I know Anthony's going to chime in on this, but he's definitely all about risk. So it's kind of like, hey, if it's not too much of a risk, let's try it out. You know, we're going to, of course, go through the basics, figure out what's our overhead cost. How much is it really going to, you know, cost to really invest in this and kick it off? And, you know, it really wasn't too much. You know, thankfully, we were able to self-fund this on our own to really start it out and just kind of see how it was going to go. And then initially when we started this, we weren't the face of this. Like we just went back in October. A couple of months ago, we just decided to really come out and say, hey guys, this is really who Socialite is, you know, the name for itself that we came up with. That's what's been driving our sales and allowing us to brand ourselves.
Did you guys have any difficulties with like Corona and the change, the times and things that are going on?
No, actually, unfortunately, you know, God rest anyone who's died. Corona, well, the COVID actually increased our sales. Yeah. It increased our sales. So like what happens is anytime we get an order, I'll get an email, you know, come to my phone and my phone might ring. So the orders just started coming in and we were like, man, like where is this coming from? Like, did we do something? Or did someone promote our game and we didn't know? So we kind of put two and two together. We're like, okay, well, evidently because of COVID, people are at home, so they're looking for something to do. So we think that's what elevated our sales.
Yeah, people were they were tired of, you know, all of the real life things that were happening. They wanted something else to do. We even had people from corporate offices. They were playing our Passport to the Hood Trap Edition in their employee resource group. It was like a group of Black women that were like playing our game, and they sent us screenshots of them on Zoom playing Passport to the Hood Trap Edition. So it was like, you know, people were just trying to figure out what are some good icebreakers, what are just things we can do. Everyone know Zoom got super popular. What is it? Hangouts. I mean, all these other platforms that everyone's been using to collaborate with each other and just connect. So yeah, we've been definitely blessed due with COVID and everything with our sales. It was like Christmas. Our Christmas sales started back in March and just went through the rest of the year.
So you talked about how the progression and the increase as far as Corona or COVID times.
Are Black people the only ones that say Corona? I think Black people are the only ones that say that.
That row. You know that row. That row. Knock this out.
So look. So if you're recording this, make sure you catch this. So remember when they came out with the UK strand?
Yeah.
I named it the X-Men. So I'm the first person that said that. I want my money.
He said, pay me my coins. Okay. So back to my question. I know we was talking about, you know, COVID sales. How was it in the actual beginning? Like, I know a lot of entrepreneurs always talk about, you know, it's just a hard thing, selling DVDs out my trunk, you know, selling my, you know, like the whole Meek Mill startup, you know, in the trunk. So how was it in the beginning? Was it just, you know, family, associates, you know, dropping them past and maybe church events or social community events or stuff? How did you guys start that ball in the beginning?
Yeah, so man, like I was like Master P. I was getting out the mud. I had a whole bunch of boxes in my trunk.
Really?
Nah,
really?
That's not what happened.
That's Mike.
True hustler.
I'm capping. So no, this is what really happened. And some things work like that. Actually, we took pictures. Mm-hmm. We put on Amazon. Mm-hmm. So
the name itself sold itself.
We put no money into marketing. Now, of course, some close friends. Mm-hmm. We shared it with some close friends.
Okay.
We gave some copies to some close friends, but outside of, when I say close friends, I'm talking about very minimal.
Like the ones that's in your group me on a daily basis that you're
hitting up.
Like your day ones. Like if it went like a day one type person, they knew nothing about it. Yeah. And the reason for that is because we wanted to make sure that the brand could stand alone,
right,
and produce by itself.
Right.
So that's how it happened.
So where do you see your games going exactly? Like, what is your short term and your long term for your business for this particular game?
So of course, from a sales perspective, we every year
ballers trying to be some ballers.
Yeah, definitely that too. But from a sales perspective, every year we want to do better than the prior year.
Right.
I'm one that I don't like to necessarily set unrealistic expectations. So the goal right now is to always do better than the next year. Now, of course, we have some other avenues we want to eventually move into. Like, of course, we sold merchandise in the past that didn't necessarily do too well. So probably want to go to the drawing board that, like, what types of hoodies or other things outside of games that we could sell with our same, trademarks that we have, some of our logos. That's one opportunity. But then also to expand into new games, because we have other volumes that we're going to put out eventually. And also whenever the COVID stuff goes away, we want to be able to produce a live
game show.
Ooh.
That would be dope.
And we kind of like tested a little bit of that out back in 2018. Yeah. So 2018, you guys are familiar with CIAA, that would come to the Charlotte area.
Right.
And so what we did is we had a host. We had a little Asian girl. She was going out in the middle of the street. She was like grabbing people to get them to play our game. And it was hilarious because, for one, in her culture, she's trying to read certain cards and
it don't sound right.
Understand the slang. I mean, it was just so much fun. So we were just pulling random people off the street. You guys remember that show Hits from the Street back in the day? Come on BET. So it was kind of like that, where we were just like running up to people, telling them who we were. Hey, you want to take a second and answer some of these games? You could win money from us. So definitely just kind of piggyback off of that and just make it bigger next time. Yeah, and take it to TV.
Sounds so dope. I just want y'all to remember little old me when y'all make it. I don't know if y'all gonna be on ABC or
you might be available to be the host. We might have a.
Okay, I got my good clothes on for that day.
Yeah.
Even though me and her be arguing about some of these questions about which one's right.
Me and him all day. So whenever we're trying to figure out, okay, like, we got our A through D, choices, right?
Right.
Sounds like if we have like 5 or 6, me and him are arguing back and forth which one needs to make it on the card.
Hey, it makes sense because it's so many responses that you can be like, wait, there's no E, all of the above. Like, it should be all of them.
Right.
So let me ask you, we were talking early in the beginning about your different decks, right? The Trap Edition, the Volume 1. Who came up with the names of the decks?
Oh yeah, I came up with the different versions. Like I said, I woke up one day and I was like, man, how can I expand?
Right.
The different versions. So I'm like, man, because of course with the original flavor, I was like, okay, we want to keep that because that's an original. But how do we put a different spin on the additional decks? I was like, man, I need to have something catchy. Well, we all know the Trap. Yeah. Everyone loves Trap. So I was like, okay, well, I think this will gravitate towards everyone.
So let's say there was a
name Trap, but I had more of the Trap questions because I'm a little more hood than the
Okay, that's what I was about to ask. I was like, did you guys do like a little research pool?
She capping.
The background?
Oh, no, I'm not.
If
you ask any of his friends, they'll be like, yeah, Chris Mo Hood and Ant.
Y'all believe that if you want to.
Well, did you come up with most of the questions for the story of my life? Because they said that's geared toward women's experiences.
So what happened with that, I was at work one day and I had braids in at the time. And I had a coworker, she walks up to me and she's like, oh my God, Crystalline, I love your hair. And while she's telling me that she loves my hair, she reaches out, she grabs my braids and like pulls them like to touch them. And I was like, oh no, hell no. Like, what are you doing? And so I'm like, do I flip out and lose my job? Or do I just like, what am I supposed to do at this moment? And I came home, I was so livid. I was telling Anthony about what happened. And then I was like, you know what? I'm about to create a game for women. And so at first, when I started thinking about it, I was like, these are Black girl problems. Right. We always have people asking us about our hair. We all, always wanting to touch it, just crazy stuff. And so I started coming up with some of these questions and the concept of it. And then I was like, no, let's expand it. Let's talk about all women, because regardless of our race and our culture, women, we really have a lot of similar stories, you know, especially when you think about dating, your girlfriends, when you try to get advice from them, you know, the girlfriend that you shouldn't take advice from, the one that never listens to her own advice. You know that one,
I got a couple of those.
Yeah, so that's how that one came about. And in my group me chat with my girlfriends all the time, whenever we would like talk about something, a lot of times I would be like, story of my life, or I'd say something like hashtag Black girl problems. And then so that's how I just came up with the name, The Story of My Life.
Oh, that's, you know what? I would have never thought, but you know, that's normally how good ideas come around. Like, dang, why not think about that? Yeah, I could have did that. You know, so, you know, if y'all do decide to do this idea, you know, just think about your sister V over here. So is there going to be a 2020 edition deck? Because 2020
I feel like,
because that row deck, we
a lot of stuff popping off
row or something. that deck is going to be serious.
Right.
Well, like a political edition of what's going on currently. Like there's always constant content.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that me and Anthony, we try to do is put relevant and update the content as needed. You know, so whenever we're placing new orders, if there's something that recently happened, we're like, oh, we need to put that in there. I don't like, for instance, with Celebsaid, we have entanglement in there. Right when we were getting ready to print it out, that's when Jada came out. Her entanglement. Like, oh, entanglement! You made the quotes. You're going in the game.
So I know that any new business can be strenuous on a person or a family. How has this impacted you guys' marriage or with your family spending time? Has it had any type of impact? Because, you know, some people like, you know, I'm always in the office, or
I'm always working.
Yeah. Like, has it interrupted any flow of anything? Or y'all both grinding together? Y'all both riding out of bad boys for life type of.
I'm a ride together.
Yeah, I'm a workaholic. So,
yeah, he is.
It bothers me to do nothing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm one of those types of people. I always got to be, you know, I'm like all over the place doing stuff. So you know, we'll get orders. Order comes in, we package up the order. If I'm busy, you know, she'll do stuff, and you know, vice versa. So we just try to make it a collaborative, you know, effort.
And a lot of times we do our stuff at night once we put our son down. So we have a 21-month-old son, and so when he goes to sleep, that's when we like do the bulk of our stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I do like about the game, it's like you could bond with your friends and your family and play the game, but also it can be like a tool, I guess, to teach like younger people stuff that don't know certain things about the other questions. Did y'all keep that? Was that like in your mind or just happened?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, we're not 18 or, you know, so it's like, you know, when we were coming up with some of this content, we were thinking like, when we play it with different generations or different ages, it's so funny to see their answers to some of them.
Right.
Or for them to be like, well, who is that? And that's something really fun. Like whenever you do play with different generations, to kind of see the different answers that people are going to say, or how they're going to try to argue you down about what the best NBA player.
Yeah, who's the best NBA
So you're going to
player.
have older people, you know, 80 babies and under. We're going to be like, what? Oh, that's MJ. Well, you got your newer generation. They're going to talk about LeBron and like, what's the new one now? Zion or Steph. Yeah, you know, so it just depends.
Right.
All right. Well, let's get into this one game. We got Passport to the Hood, because our time is coming to an end, and I want to explain the game on the air while we have it. Passport to the Hood, Volume 1. Now, what I like about the game, first of all, you already separated the decks, so I don't have to do it myself. That's number one, because you know you mix it up one time and you messed up, right? But I like the fact that you got the how to play. Most times they put the instructions like on the outside of the box. Yeah. But it's already a card inside. Mm-hmm. So I'm reading the instructions. It says pick a host responsible, which is, I feel like it's important because you got some jacked up people who don't know what to do, don't know how to read. Pick up a host responsible for reading cards and keeping score. Form 3 or more teams to give them one set of A, B, C, D decision cards, which I have right here. And then it says cards with facts at the same time. Cards with facts have answers captured in bold. Cards with majority vote can only have one answer, A, B, C, or D. Teams that tie majority vote cards don't lose a point. The majority vote determines the answer. All the above is not a valid answer. I guess that was me. I just wanted to got an E, right? All the above.
Yeah. Put that in there for
people like you.
Hold on, I feel judgment through the screen. I feel judgment. Okay. Teams start with 10 points and lose a point for incorrect answers. The last team with points wins and gets a passport to the hood. So I just want to read a couple of questions, and I just want to be like, how did y'all come up with this? So, what chore did Mama say have finished before she got home? A, clean them dishes in the sink. B, sweep and mop the kitchen floor. C, don't have no rings in my toilets. Or D, put all them toys up and make your bed.
A.
The dishes. That was the big one.
That was the big one. Like, I'm surprised it probably is in here. You know, you knew you were in trouble if you didn't take that meat out before Mom got home from work.
Defrost the meat.
Yeah, defrost the meat.
Yep.
Defrost the meat. And I'm sure
I still don't get that right for myself as an adult, so I can't even be upset.
Right. Thank God for Instapot and a crock pot. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we had questions about, like you said, I believe you was talking about Crips earlier. He was like, blank founded the Crips. And I feel like you had the right answer, or did Chrissy have the right answer? Came up with the right answer. A, Rice Means. B, Richard Reed. C, Raymond Washington. Or D, Edward White.
Oh, shoot. I don't even know
C.
Washington.
Yeah, it's definitely C. It's Raymond Washington, because I feel like it was you. But I want to know. I'm not about that life.
I was going to say Tookie, but you're right.
So as you can see, like, some of these questions are really, really good. And I would have, like, you learned something, because I like I said, I don't know nothing about the Crips. I know nothing about, you know, when you're in different regions of where you grow up, like North versus South, you know, there are some things, you know, we know, but we all have our own terminology, but it's similar. Like up North, we call it join, where down here be joint, or jam, or whatever. Yeah. It's still the same derivative, just using it in a sentence and we'll figure it out.
And right. Most of our like arguments got playing with the game just because like she kind of grew up in the church and I didn't, so it was like a lot of stuff. I'm like, you didn't see that movie? Like what?
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh, you're one of them.
Hey, again,
I didn't listen to secular music.
Again, this is judgment in this. What kind of judging podcast are we doing today? But anyway, so out of all of the decks, if you have created, which one is your favorite?
Someone else asked.
I'll let you go.
I go back and forth.
It's like they're all my babies. I can't choose.
Right.
Oh my gosh, which
we
one?
Have them pondering, you guys. I got one.
Go first, babe, because okay. I'm struggling.
Okay, so here's the advertisement. Still.
Okay.
I love all the games. All the games are awesome. Okay. Facts. Okay, go out and buy everything. Okay, but no, you know, I actually love all the Passport to the Hood stuff, but actually, my favorite game is Celebsaid. So the Celebsaid game is about quotes from the rich and famous.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I'm a movie buff. I love to watch movies, right? And I only like to really watch movies one time unless so much time has gone by that I forgot about it.
Yeah, forget that.
So with the game, the whole premise is that the first person, whenever the host is reading the card, if you know the quote, you're supposed to blurt out the answer, right?
Right.
So like, let's say for example, like Kevin Hart, right?
Right.
When the question says, all right, you're gonna learn.
Oh,
so as soon as you start hearing it, you're supposed to blurt out
right
who's the celebrity says it. So that's actually fun to me because think about on a daily basis, a lot of people will quote something else from a movie, right? Like for example, let's say if you're on Instagram or Facebook or like right now with these riots, if you see somebody get hit or knocked out, you be like, you got knocked up.
Yes.
And who said that?
Debo.
No.
It was
Chris Tucker.
No. Chris, he not. No, it was Chris Tucker. It was Friday. I know what you're talking about. I said the wrong thing.
See?
Now take his card. Y'all not beating up on him.
I got close enough to the movie.
After the fact.
Okay, so I'll say mine. I'm gonna say it's Passport to the Hood. And the reason why I think is because it catches people off guard. Initially, when they start playing our game, they think it's going to be a bunch of silly stuff just the whole time, which for the most part, we're going to have you cracking up. You know, we're going to say crazy stuff in there. but we're also going to throw educational things in there that's going to spark a conversation and really make you think about some stuff. Like, why do we think that way? Or why are these stereotypes out there about Black people in general? One of the cards I love to see people reaction to is whenever we talk about how long does the Black dollar circulate in our community? 6 hours. 6 hours. I didn't know that. Right. And so when people are like cracking up, drinking, having a good time, and then you see a question like that, it's like, whoa, why is that? Why don't we have our dollars circulate in the Black community at least a day? My God, 6 hours? You know, we're just ready to go dish it out and give it to somebody else into another community instead of supporting our own people, kind of thing. So that's why I like that, because it catches people off guard when they read our game. Oh, Passport to the Hood. Oh, this is about to be silly. Like, we just gonna be cutting up the whole time, and then you really learn things when you're playing the game.
Right.
Oh my gosh, man! I'm about to get the Celebsaid. I'm about to get the rest of the whole collection now.
Right.
Now
I need to know. Go on our website. It is called the MVP Pack. All 5 decks.
Okay, y'all heard that plug? Y'all better go on that website and get the MVP Pack.
So, what's the website? Where can they find you? What's your social media? I heard you earlier say you guys are on Amazon too. So, where can they get it at? So
you can go to www.sociallabs.com, and that's with 1 L. Okay. We have a lot of sales going. Some of the products have $15 off, $20 off. So some great sales on the website right now. Awesome. Also, you can get the game on Amazon.com. And then for social media, our handle is Passport to the Hood. That's one website, one site. We also have the Story of My Life _game. And then we have Celebsaid _game. And then our page for Social Labs is Social Labs 365.
Yeah. Okay. But the best way to find us, if you just want to go to our first one, which is Social Labs 365, it'll show you all of our other handles where you can follow for our different games.
And on the website, you'll see different posts we have, as well as press releases we have and other podcast interviews as well.
Okay. Oh man, this has been a fun time, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the Zoom with us. I appreciate you. I know it wasn't that easy to come to your living room or whatever space y'all live right now to just log on. But thank you so much for joining in for us. And you guys, make sure you tune into this episode, share it with your friends, go out there on their website and get all the decks, like have themselves go all the way up, because over here we support Black businesses heavy, real hard.
And where can they listen to our podcast, B?
Oh my goodness, you would do that. So they can listen to us on Amazon Music, Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Alexa, Castbox, Pandora, and I think that's all. They can also find us
everywhere.
Oh yeah, every platform.
I've been putting in work. We everywhere.
I got one question for you guys.
Sure.
So the name of the podcast is Drunk with Friends, right?
Where the
liquor?
See, let me tell you something. I was going to make drinks, but I was running around trying to make sure this connection was.
Oh, that's right. We were having some difficulties. Okay.
I was like, man, I got a dry podcast.
I was like, are we going to be teaching guys? Like, how are we supposed to handle this?
I thought you guys were really busy because of the time sensitivity. So I was like, I'm not going to get them drunk if they got somewhere else to go.
Right.
So
I do got to pick my baby up in another hour or so. So yeah, that was good. That was
okay. Because you got to at least take 2 shots. That's the part of the rules.
Right.
So if some people are lightweights. If you take one and then another one, and if your phone goes off, then you got to take another shot. I mean, it's just a lot of rules. But yes. I'm sorry, guys. I was just trying to make sure we were good for the interview, but that doesn't stop y'all from drinking on your own. Y'all can take a picture, taking a shot, send it to us, and I'll put it with the promotion, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys have a good one, and thank you again for joining us.
All right, thanks, you guys. Take care. Grab yourself another one. All my people having fun. Herbs on a beat. Take a shot before you gotta go. Party like an animal.